Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So going into this season, on Dreamerspro Max, on our channel, and all these different things, I said that I had this feeling that the Warriors were going to be a dangerous team. Just exactly how I had the feeling. If you guys remember I had that prediction. I said I had a negative feeling about the Brooklyn Nets going into this season. I felt as if that they were going to be derailed by something that had nothing to do with their play on the court. I felt like it was going to be something that was self-inflicted. And lo and behold, here we are. Now, am I saying I'm Nostradamus? Absolutely not. But sometimes you got to read the writing on the wall, and you got to kind of take the temperature, the things that are happening, and kind of, give your take on things. And that's what I thought about the Brooklyn Nets. With the Warriors, I always felt that, I felt that this team was going to be pretty dangerous. And I think that, and I said that they were not getting enough attention, and I think that that was a big mistake. Attention meaning from the media. Now, Warrior fans out there, Stephen Curry fans out there, they knew what was up. But the media and all of these different things, going into every season, you have to have, a storyline, which is totally understandable. And it seemed like going into this particular NBA season, the focus was going to be on the Brooklyn Nets and the Los Angeles Lakers, which is fine. However, make sure you do your homework. You don't want to overlook a team like the Golden State Warriors. And now you're seeing what they're doing. I mean, last season, for me, the reason why I felt like, this team could be pretty lethal this season was I was able to see what they were able to do last season with just a healthy Stephen Curry. And they were able to put a scare in a lot of teams, right? They look pretty good. And this season, I feel like, I felt like they were going to be even better this season. And that seems to be the case. Why? Because they have everything in place. They have, their GM did a fantastic job, constructing their roster. Of course, they have a championship culture. If you listen to Stephen A. Smith the other day, talking about the Kevin Durant and all that, talking about how the Brooklyn Nets, they don't have a culture. Kevin Durant is not creating a culture there and all of these different things. That is not an issue with the Golden State Warriors. They have a culture. They have a championship. They have championship pedigree. They have experience. They know how to win. They have won multiple NBA championships over the last 10 years. So this team has everything in place to beat teams, and I believe that they're a very confident group. And I feel like there's no team in the NBA that the Golden State Warriors step on the court and feel as if that they can't beat them. I think, to be honest with you, if you look at them, you look at how they play, if you look at Stephen Curry's demeanor on the court, you look at Steve Kerr, how stoic and calm he is. I feel like they just know that, we can beat any single team that they put in front of us. And yesterday, I was listening to the radio show with Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson, and Jay Williams. I forgot the name of the show, and Jay Williams did a breakdown on the Golden State Warriors, and I thought it was a fantastic breakdown of why he thinks, or what exactly is happening with this team as to why they're so difficult to defend. So I thought it was so good that I said, okay, you know what? We should play it for you guys today, because I'm sure some of you missed it. So what we want to do right here, we want to play his analysis and his breakdown of the Golden State Warriors, and we're going to come back and give you guys some of our thoughts and sort of react to some of the things that he said. So before we go too far, take a listen to some of the things that he had to say here. Take a listen.
Jay, I don't think you were ready yet to say there was a changing of the guard, or maybe a return to really the favorite in the West. But have the Warriors convinced you that maybe they are that team to beat in the West?
Yeah, they're the team to beat right now. Especially, you see a lot of those numbers skewed defensively about them being the best defensive team in the league. But I saw it translate last night. I saw Andrew Wiggins guard James Harden down the stretch and really stay on James Harden's left hand the entire time and make him look like a less human being, like a less basketball player. I saw Draymond Green guard Kevin Durant, and when they try to pinpoint switches, when they try to get Stephen Curry on Kevin Durant, I see Draymond say, we're not going to switch. I'm staying here on this matchup. It's the coaching of Steve Kerr that has an advantage over Steve Nash. It's the defensive playing of that. And I'll tell you this, as a guard, and you weren't really a big though, right? You were more of a kind of wing.
Tweener.
Tweener, okay.
3-4.
Sometimes as guards, as a point guard, and every guard will probably think about this, you look at some of your bigs sometimes and you're like, man, look, I'm going to need you to be a little bit more attentive, bro. Like, I'm going to need you to listen to the plays. I'm going to need you to know what the plays are. So think about this advantage that Steph has. A lot of stuff that he does involves continuity and ball screens. So you're always forcing that big to communicate to the guard where that screen is coming from. But a lot of times they slip screens, which means they don't even set the screen. Draymond just rolls to the bucket. So it constantly puts the defense on their heels. And when the bigs are the ones having to communicate that plays right into the hands of Stephen Curry. When they get Clay back, that's going to be a problem.
Now, after listening to his explanation, I think he perfectly explained what makes this team so difficult to defend. He perfectly explained this. He talked about how Stephen Curry with the screens and all of these different things, the way he's always moving out the ball, it makes it very hard for defenses to cheat. If you factor in Stephen Curry's play style, think about this. Curry is one of the few players that can score without the ball, moving without the ball, like a Kevin Durant, but it can also score and break you down one-on-one. Then if you factor in the fact that Klay Thompson is most likely going to return very, very soon, who has a similar play style. He's not as good as a individual one-on-one player as ISO player Stephen Curry, but when he's on the move, he is lethal, right? And you have these two type of players, and defenses always have to account for them. They are going to be a nightmare for teams to defend, and you can quickly see how they may end up being, if we're not careful, they may end up being the best team in the NBA this season when it's all said and done. In my personal, opinion, I think that the only team, this is just me, I could be totally wrong, guys. This is just what I think. I think the only team that can beat this Golden State Warriors team in the West is a healthy Clippers. That's with Kawhi Leonard, because they match up very well together. This is just me. I think the Clippers, with their shooting, with their experience, with their ability, they have so many experienced two-way players that can defend, Marcus Morris Sr., Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, all of these wings that they have, of course, and they have some stretch fives like, Serge Ibaka, and then you have some very talented big men like Ivica Zubac and all these different players, Reggie Jackson, all of them. I feel like they can match up the best with this team in the Western Conference. Now, this is just me, and I think that if Kawhi Leonard comes back healthy, I personally believe we're going to see a Western Conference Finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Clippers. This is just what I believe. Other people can feel differently, which is totally fine. But it just doesn't stop at the individual players with this team. You also have to look at the team itself. As a team, this Golden State Warriors team is a juggernaut. They're a monster. Let me give you some of their team stats. Currently, they're ranked number 1 in defensive rating. Numero uno. Okay? That's number 1. Just had to speak a little bit Italian for you guys out there. They're also the number 1 scoring team in the NBA, scoring 115.2 points per game. So just think about those two things. Think about the end of both spectrums. The number 1 offense, the number 1 defense, which pretty much means what? They're putting a beat down on teams right now. The margin of victory is decisive, but it doesn't end there. They're also the number 1 rebounding team. They're not even the biggest team. You would think it would be the Lakers. They're the number 1 rebounding team in the NBA. They're also the number 1 team in assists this season. And to add insult to injury, they're leading the NBA in field goal percentage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a recipe for disaster for the rest of the league. This is not a facade. This is not a mirage. This is real. I think a lot of people here's what I think. I think there are a lot of people out there that they like to do a lot of wishful thinking. They're like, okay, well, they're really not that good, or they're bad now, but they're going to be great late. No. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to go off the facts. We got to go off of the data that because a lot of people say, well, it's only so early in the season. Well, so what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? You have teams that are playing well. You have teams that are playing poorly. What am I supposed to say? The teams that are playing well and the teams that are playing poorly are the same because it's early? That's nonsense. What are you talking about? If you are in college and you have a 4-month semester, whatever, 5-month semester, the student that starts off, very, very well and, getting high marks on all of his exams, getting A's and B's and all of this different stuff, right? And it's still maybe a month or a month and a half into the semester. Then you have the other guy who's starting off with C's, D's, and F's. You're not going to say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's still early in the semester. Of course it matters because it's going against your record. What are you talking about? It's going to matter. That's the reason why they have regular season, records. How you play factors into where you land at the end of the season. I hope that concept is not lost on some people. So it does matter. We're getting close to the point where we're playing about a quarter of the season. Most teams have played 14, 15, 16 games. When you get to that 20 game mark, you played a quarter of the season. By the time you get to Christmas, March, you're halfway through the season. So it matters. These numbers are real, and I think that the Golden State Warriors are for real, and I really enjoyed the breakdown of Jay Williams before. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about his breakdown, and what do you think about some of the things that I said? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day, and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.